In the heart of Africa lies a paradox, a continent with the largest youth population, yet grappling with soaring rates of youth unemployment. And as Africa embraces a technological revolution across various sectors, education stands at the forefront of change. Following the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the sector has transformed its means of delivery, execution, management, and outcomes through technology, creating EdTech. And a homegrown Rwandan company, Bag Innovation, is spearheading the change to enhance educational outcomes and bridge the gap between Rwandan youth and employment opportunities.
The story of Bag started in 2017. So me and my co-founder, we meet at a networking event, and he's coming in from Europe with a perspective around education. By looking at education in Europe, you can have 16 different bachelor's degrees, and more and more young people are not trying to go to university. They would rather find other opportunities where they can gain work experience. And in Africa, it's the opposite. For you to go to school, your parents have to sell a piece of land somewhere. They take you to school, but you still end up unemployed because majority of the education opportunities that you get here are not really preparing you for the job market. So we saw that problem, we got passionate and curious about the problem, and we decided to try something and try and solve it using technology. So where Bag is today, we are a job simulation platform where we collaborate with employers to design job simulations of what it's like to work at their company, and provide that as opportunities for students to gain experience and become more employable. Most people, what they're doing is they're either creating an e-learning platform, creating a bunch of courses and having people take up those courses, but nobody's really looking at what are employers really looking for? Because education, in my opinion, is education should be preparing you for work. Sure. If it's not preparing you for work, then what's the point of it? So a lot of these courses, even if you equip anybody with the skills to be a great accountant, if they don't understand how to actually problem solve when they're in an accounting role, they will still not be employable the way that employers are looking for, right? Because there's a lot of young people who are looking for opportunities on the job market, right? And what's gonna set you apart as a young person is your ability to be different, right? Or to have more of these soft skills that employers are looking for. So really our approach approaches that problem in that sense, where we focus on making the education more relevant to exactly what you're gonna do. Because on our platform, if we're showing you what it's like to actually be an accountant, what kind of challenges do you face as an accountant on a day-to-day basis, then you start understanding, oh, now I understand where I actually apply credit or debit in a real case scenario. I did not understand it. I was just cramming it so I can pass my exam. But now I really understand what's the importance of it in terms of doing my job really well. The first service that we offer is job simulations. What does that mean? So we get into a company, we ask the company, what are some of the roles that you hire for? Most of the time, they tell us these roles, and we use that information to transform them into learning experiences. We host them onto our platform as a way to help these companies build talent pipelines. So most companies right now, the way that they're doing their recruitment or hiring, they're being reactive, which means an employee just left, you want to fill up the role tomorrow, right? And we believe that companies should be more proactive, which means they should be starting to build pipelines before they even need to hire, so that when they want to hire, it's very easy to just get the person into the company. So this is what our job simulations help them. So because we have the content and we have what they're looking for, we're able to continuously build pipelines for them. So that's the number one product that saves them a lot of time and a lot of money when it comes to sourcing talents. So that's the first product that we're scaling. The second product is we've built an amazing job board. So right now, a lot of the job boards that we see on the market are pretty basic. You post a job, you can attach a CV, and then you have to filter the CVs to find a person. With our job board, we take it a step further, where we add on an assessment. So with every job that you post, you could also attach an assessment to actually filter out people who are not qualified for that job. So that's another product that is really adding on a lot of value and cutting down time that these companies are spending when it comes to sourcing talent. So a job board with an assessment tool, amazing. And the last one that we are, or the third one, because I know we're continuously building new products, the third one that we are going to be launching very soon is an employee upskilling platform. So what that means is that we've realized that what we're doing is not just helping companies source talents to enter into the company, but we've also been receiving a lot of requests from these companies to help them upskill, the current employees that they have. So that's one of the products that we're going to be launching very soon, giving the ability for companies to say, okay, how do we grow the talents that we have in-house by implementing, job simulation, assessments.
BAG Innovation's success in Rwanda is closely tied to vital partnerships with private sector, giving it access to its target audience.
So one of the things that we want to prioritize is partnering with universities, right? One of the things that we've seen, and which really gave also birth to BAG, was we saw that the career development centers in most universities are non-existent, or they really don't have the connection to the private sector. So again, you're studying something, you go to the career development center in your university and you say, how can I get a job? What they do is they invite, let's say, a CEO of a bank to come and speak at a school, and they believe that that's going to equip you with all the skills. And we believe that it doesn't. There's a lot more that students needs to learn, needs to be implemented for them to really understand the job market really well. So the first thing that we would do is partnering with universities and saying, how do we tap into the curriculum of the school? For example, a clear application of what we're trying to do is the teacher is teaching budgeting in a class, let's say at a university, to accountant students. As soon as he finishes teaching the basics of the budgeting, he tells all the students to jump into the BAG platform and says, everybody log into your account on BAG and complete a real budgeting challenge from, let's say, the largest bank in Kenya. So you can fully understand exactly how that applies, what I just taught you, how it applies to the workplace. So we want to scale our technology. So the thing that we want to do is, before we partner with any university, we'll look at, do they have, what kind of ICT infrastructure do they have in place? And can we come in and install, let's say, our technology into their computer labs so that the students can start using them? Do the students here have access to, let's say, computers and so on and so forth? But also one of the things that we realized is that more than 50% of our users access our platform using mobile phones. So we're basically optimizing our technology to have the best experience possible, on mobile as well. So, definitely we're not trying to create centers, we're trying to partner with these centers so we can, add on value to what they're doing already. Next year, we have ambitious plans. We want to be in at least minimum 2 markets, but we're also targeting 3 markets. So we're looking at scaling to countries such as Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia. The reason why we're targeting these markets is because we've seen that, number one, they have a really big youth population. Number 2, they have a huge youth unemployment problem, right? And these are the markets that we really believe that our platform could really work in. And so we're really excited about that. We are preparing our platform for scale. We are making sure everything is ready so that when we launch, it's going to be a successful launch.
The uptake of technology-driven startups has been impressive in Africa, but that comes with its own share of hurdles, and BAG Innovation has not been left out. Common to most startups, issues of funding, access to resources, collaboration, regulatory environment, existing policies, and market readiness still remain the major barriers when it comes to achieving 100% transition.
One of the biggest challenges that any entrepreneur is facing right now is definitely, raising funding. It's not very easy raising funds right now. We all see what's happening, in the investment landscape. A lot of companies have also gone down who have raised a lot of money, and they're either shutting down, or some of them are shutting down because they raised too much money. They're not able to get the return as quickly as possible. Some of them are not able to fundraise because it's just really hard right now, right? So one of the number one things is definitely raising funding, and especially in our sector, it's because we're doing something quite different. It's hard to find investors who understand what we are trying to do. As you know, if you're raising in fintech and trying to provide people with a payment system, it's a very easy business model that you can easily pitch because there's a lot of precedent, people who've raised funding because of that. But for us, job simulations, we haven't really seen any companies raise on that. So that's definitely one of the key challenges. And the second challenge is definitely around B2B, right? So our business model is B2B, right? More than 50% of our revenues come from us selling to businesses. Selling to businesses, any entrepreneur will tell you that it's one of the hardest business models to crack, but once you crack it, you can really grow quickly. So it takes a long time to close in B2B clients, right? If you're trying to close in a huge bank, it's going to take 6 to 8 months for you to get the contract ready. So that's also another key challenge, and it's something that we've seen in Rwanda, where there's a very small market of large enterprises, which is where we want to sell our solutions to. And therefore, that's one of the reasons why we are scaling to other markets, because we want to get into a market that has a bigger B2B, let's say, scene. There's a lot more large businesses, so we can go in and really, sell our products and services. So yeah, definitely, selling B2B and fundraising, those are some of the challenges that we are looking at right now.
The future of bag innovation and edtech in Rwanda and Africa at large has great potential to impact education and employment accessibility, as well as socio-economic growth in the country. However, to make this work, government goodwill, technological integration, through leveraging on the likes of artificial intelligence to create sustainable solutions to the emerging challenges are key for adaptability.
The thing that I always encourage young people is to say, no one is coming to save you, right? Unemployment it's a really, really, really tough problem out here. And you could either cry about it or you could do something about it. And doing something means starting to invest in your career development, networking, going to different events, meeting people who are key, who have the jobs, right? But also at the same time learning and bringing something to the table. A lot of young people are graduating, they don't have the skills, and when you try to hire them, you say, what can you bring to the table? And there's almost nothing that they can bring to the table, right? So I would say, start working on that. What can you bring to the table? And that can only happen if you invest in learning and gaining experience.